Hey, what's up, guys? I get a lot of questions about what I do with what I did with the recording process or mixing or whatever for the Hotdog.jpg song. And this is going to be kind of a video walkthrough of basically my writing process and how I got there. So yeah, basically, the idea came from I saw the clip of "Do I Look Like I Know What a JPEG Is" on the King of the Hill. King of the Hill is one of my favorite shows, and I just got to thinking, it should be remixed. And basically, what I do anytime I am working on a song is I start with the drums. So let's solo those out and see what I came up with here. Let me. Let's see. Do I have the... No? Yeah, that looks right. Yeah. So, pretty standard house beat. Just a bass drum. And then a snare. Basic, simple stuff. I think I actually used just those two. And then you got your basic kick drum. Same thing over here. Let me set this to loop as well. And I think from there I was like, okay, well, we need to get the bass going. And as you can see in here, it's all just the same note over and over again. It's offset so that this is not my current process of writing songs at the moment, but I didn't really know the best way to have a clean bass sound separate from the kick, so I just offset them basically so it's kind of a kick. You get your kick bass, kick bass, kick bass. So kind of simple. Let's see, what do we have next? I think this is going to be our main, our lead, but I'll get back to that in a second. So then, what do we got on this one? So that was, let me just solo that out. That was our sort of like bells type of sound. And I just looped that. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean, but I just kind of did something. I got this Bell electric piano preset, and I put a delay on there. So let's check it out without the delay and the phaser. Kind of boring, so I doubled it with the delay and added just a little bit of phase to that. So now it sounds a little bit more trippy. And, that's kind of what I was going for. I put this whole song together in, a day from idea to completion, and that included cutting up the video as well. So, that's kind of what I did. Let's see, what is next? This subtractor is... Oh, I guess I should explain. I did this whole song in 3 different programs: Reason, Acid, and Adobe Audition. These are the old versions of these programs because I did this in 2014, so this is kind of an old song at this point. But yeah, so I mean that's kind of why I'm using this old interface on this. So what was the subtractor? Okay, so this is kind of the Game Boy sound. And on this, what I did was I had it be mostly the same melody the whole time, but then at the end it ends with that bump, 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 bump. It's an easy way to like keep the song kind of sounding the same, but then at the end you just change it up a little bit so it's, keeps it fresh. And then another key factor in the song was this this Dr. Rex loop. Not even sure where I got that loop from. I had a loop pack from a million years ago that I got, and I just cut it up a little bit. You can see this first one is the straight sample, then I cut it up a little bit, and then that just alternated back and forth. Yeah, so that's kind of what happened, and then I, pair that with the bigger drums. And it starts to be pretty fun. Throw in that bass again. Oh, I had reset. So got kind of a groove going. So I skipped this earlier, but let's go back and check out the lead, which is right here. I think. Okay, yeah. So for the lead, it was really all about the pitch bend. So you can see what I did here is it's all the same note as the bass. Whatever note this is, F. I think that's all the same in the bass. Yeah. So this it's just an F note over and over again. And you can see down here I just did a pitch bend to it. What information did I use on that? I think I just bent it by a range of 2. So it goes up to a whatever this is. It goes up to a G. Passing through the F sharp. And then for the second time around, I cut it up a little bit. And I think I repeated the first long note that gets bent, and then I did, this like da 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 da. And yeah, then I just kind of did that to varying degrees, different patterns, and it's simple as that. You can see I got an equalizer. This is kind of set up pretty stupid. Oh, you know what? I probably wasn't even using that. I tried the equalizer and bypassed it because I didn't like it. So who knows? But that's pretty much the song. If you are familiar with the song, you'll notice that it's really not that many pieces. Let's take a look here. I mean, this is the whole song. It's 8 bars, and I just 15 seconds of a loop, essentially, just loops used in different ways throughout the whole song. Here it is all together. And yeah, so then from there I rendered each one as its own loop. I just went, if you're not familiar with, I basically, the way I did this, I used Reason incorrectly of how you're supposed to use it. You can rewire all of this into a different program if you are trying to like loop in extra different samples or whatever you're trying to do. You can use it as a rewired device. I didn't do that. What I did was I would just set my loop region and go export loop. Or sometimes, like for instance on this this Maelstrom, it's got the long delay. So I might have had a loop region of maybe that long, right about there, and then I would double it up, and I'll show you that in a second when I pull up the Acid project. But so that's pretty much the melody writing part of this process, and in the next part I will jump and show you what I did with Acid. Okay, so this is the Acid project. Sony Acid is the software that I used for this, And you can see it's kind of like a loop view or waveform view or whatever you want to call it. And basically from here, what I did was I took the sample. Now I've got the sample added into the mix, and I've got my different pieces, like this is the drums and that sort of thing. So, what I did, first of all, I wanted to get the recording of Hank Hill saying, I just wanted a picture of goddamn hot dog and the full line. So I took that direct from the show, and I ran it into Adobe Audition, and I'll show that off in a minute. I tried to get as much background noise out of it as I could, and I believe, no, I didn't run any EQ here, but I did run EQ in the clip that I actually was remixing. So this is the pure sound.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
So yeah, pretty standard. Then in the remixed track, that's where I did a little bit of delay or EQing to cut out some of those higher frequencies. There's kind of like a hum in the background that I feel like this eliminated, and then I put a simple delay on there. So now I've got
JPEG.
Oh, you know what? This is that's bypassed right there. So this is what it sounds like with the delay.
JPEG is, I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Yeah, so that is the delay in effect. I bypassed or not bypassed it, depending on what I was going for. So from here, I actually did multiple layers of the vocal sample, and you can see all the different cuts I made. The original sample, it's got a completely different cadence that I changed it to have a different, more rhythmic cadence for the final version.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
So that's the way he says it, and then you can see there's different cuts in this.
Look like I know what a JPEG is?
And that is cutting to the kick drum.
Look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
And you can see the snare comes in, yeah. It's a lot of fun here, and then of course you got your the one I labeled alt percussion. It's just right there.
I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is?
So yeah, that's kind of that. And then from here, I also put in on some of these tracks, I believe there we go. This is, so track 5 is the track that I put on the glitch effect. If you've never seen this, it's just a method to cut up and remix a sample in a simple way. You can basically just hit randomize as many times as you like, or come in here and tweak individual values, especially if it's not giving you the desired effect. But this is where it starts to get fun. Let's solo out just that one, and we can take a listen. We'll leave the drums in so you can get the fun of it. So what it does, so right off the bat, it just runs through this, whatever you call these. First up, it goes 9, so it does the stretcher, and then it goes down to 4, so it does the shuffler. And I've got it set so that it cuts in and out to different effects at different times. So if I hit play here, you can see the little cursor go across the screen, and in addition to the cuts that I made here, it will apply the different effect in the order and sequence that I have here. From here, let's say I was looking at the gator, you can choose the amount that the gate is applied and that sort of thing. You can also randomize these different elements. This is kind of an older effect, and I've found the more updated version of the Blue Glitch. It doesn't really work all that great. It kind of was a product of its time, and you kind of change with the times. So when you get new software, you gotta get new plugins, and so yeah. So from there it just runs through different effects, and that's sort of adds to the trippy vibe of that. So then as we get through here,
is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
The bass kicks in at about 41 seconds, and it starts to become kind of a fun dance vibe. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The middle portion, that's where I had a little bit of fun. I mean, all of this is fun, obviously, but what I did, I'm from Texas, and chopped and screwed music is pretty big here. If you're familiar with that, and the Houston hip hop scene, it's inescapable. So I just thought, it would be funny if I just slowed Hank down, and put a pair of sunglasses on him.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot.
And to do that, what I did was I just pitch shifted this down by 7. You can see, let's see if I do this reverse. Okay. It kind of got a little muddled because the pitch shifting method did not preserve the time. So, basically everything got out of sync a little bit. But for this simple, fun project, it didn't really matter to me. Let's just solo those out.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
And I think that the ability, or the chopping of the natural sample right here
Look like I know what a JPEG is.
left me plenty of gaps between each syllable, to where when I got to the slowed down version, I could just stretch the time out a little bit, and crossfade these a little bit, and that way it would work out nicely.
Like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
And then it jumps back into the normal pitch after that. What else went on in this song? That's pretty much it. I have this fun little drum fill right here that I sort of abused. It's fun to me. And that's kind of the song. From here at the end. Oh, I didn't cover this, but there is one effect that I did accomplish with Adobe Audition, and that is the sort of the record stop sound effect. Let's get a different version of that. I just dropped in the same sample into Adobe Audition, did the record stop effect there, and then brought that version right into my program. And that's with the delay applied. Let's get rid of that. So yeah, down. But yeah, that's pretty much how it came together from the acid angle of this project. Okay, so I decided to skip over the Adobe Audition portion of this. Basically what I did was I just did a maximize and compression type of thing to get the song sounding as radio ready as I could. You can look at the waveform here, and see that obviously it's expanded a little bit.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
And then, you can see the you can see, well, okay. Don't know why this is glitching. This is an old computer, but you can see right here. It's the kicks come in and they slap. So that should be that was the desired effect of what I was looking for. So yeah. And basically, what I wanted to do was, now that I can see where the kicks hit, that helped me cut everything together in the edit for the video. So from here, what I did was I took the original clip, and that's the very beginning piece, and I began introducing different video elements so you can see the video scroll by as it happens. You know, I have this loop of hot dogs rolling down the conveyor belt footage that I got from some archive website. Most of the clips came from YouTube or from Google searches. And then I began cutting up Hank and talking to the clerk over top of the hot dog footage. Didn't really get the effect I was going for, but it's, you know, kind of a fun effect anyway. And then from here, I just took still images of various hot dogs found on Google and dropped them in. Some of them don't have backgrounds. When they're over white, at least in this instance, there's the white. The background, white on white, looks you know, like it's the same as this one that has a white background. And then later on in the video, I would be taking this and having it not over white, or I would take certain clips of it and, you know, delete the white in this image, and now Hank's shirt becomes kind of alive. One thing I got a lot is the hot dog, the dachshund wearing the hot dog costume. Personally, I found it funny. All of these hot dog images came up when I searched hot dog, including this one of the hamburger. And I just thought it would be really funny to every now and then pepper in, you know, a hamburger in the middle of this video about hot dogs. That's why it's there. Yeah, a lot of people don't really understand, and that's fine. It's funny to me. Going forward, I also threw in the graphic of a JPEG, which was also pretty funny to me. Let's see. Yeah, so this just kind of zooms in. I got another one, or a different one a little bit later. Where's that other one? And, you know, these are just old examples of what the graphic for a JPEG was. I just thought it was really funny to just throw that in. This, I think, was the Mac version that I just obviously grabbed off of YouTube. This is the old PC version of what of the pictorial representation of a JPEG. You know, just kind of some outside the box thinking. Going forward, what else do we got? Okay, so this is where it starts to... I started to use Chroma Key to drop out Hank's colors. And so, yeah, I just took the Chroma Key here, and I got rid of the white. So basically, that's why you see the hot dogs still, and then as the hot dogs finish, now we're Hank over black, and then Hank over hot dog. And we just kind of cycle through that. And I cut all of the hot dogs to be on the beat. And then when we get ahead here, I thought a purple effect would be good to represent crunk music. So that's why I went with that. And then we have the famous girl being thrown hot dogs at her face clip. you know, if you've ever been on an online message board, you've seen this. Anytime a lady chimes in and 1,000 dudes chime in to her replies, it's always a funny thing. Then I got probably the most famous part of this video, which is the dancing hot dog. This also came from a Google search. I'm sure some artist put in a lot of hard work to make this hot dog dance. But since it was an animated GIF, I found that it layered nicely over top whatever I was doing, so it's at the top of my project. And I just got the hot dog dancing. I thought 1 was funny, why not 2? And why not 4? So you can see things got kind of out of hand really quick, in a good way. And so, you know, now we've got a lot of different elements going on. I'll zoom in of Hank's teeth. I've got the hot dogs, the JPEG comes in, and then it's also super zoomed in on Hank in the background. That's why it's all a blurry Caucasian mess back there. And then it just repeats, and then at the end here I thought it would be really funny to just have the hot dog zoom in to all-encompassing screen size, so you can see this is the same hot dog I used here and you know, back here and stuff, but I switched up the effect so that it started that way, and then as Hank and the clerk drop out, it's just boom, 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 hot dog in your face. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. That's how things came together. Yeah, I'll probably be doing more of these video projects to explain sort of what's going on with some of my music and videos in the future. Obviously, you can follow me for more dumb stuff on Twitter at Sad Hourglass, or, you know, stay tuned in here on the YouTube channel. And eventually I'm going to have an album of fully original music to listen to if you're interested in that. So yeah, see you later.